Welcome to Ahavas Yisrael Daily. I wanted to say why I started learning this and wanted to share it with whoever wants to listen. I feel like there's a lot of problems we've been going through as a nation as a whole, and I feel like the more we can be together, the more we're going to gain protection from people who are against us, and the more Hashem is going to help us get through these challenges. Alright, we're still on chapter 4. But because of it, the baseless hatred, the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. As is found in the Gemara Yoma 9b, that the first Beis HaMikdash was destroyed because of idolatry and illicit relations and murder. But the second Beis HaMikdash, when they were occupied with the Torah, commandments, and acts of kindness, why was it destroyed? Because baseless hatred was prevalent in that generation. Simply speaking, the sin of baseless hatred is so severe that it was the cause of the destruction of the second Beis HaMikdash. Rav Yechezkel Levinstein points out in a deeper meaning to this. The Beis HaMikdash served as the place of connection between Hashem and the Jewish people. Through the offering of the korbanos and other holy service, the nation drew close to Hashem. As explained earlier, one who hates his fellow, aside from the sin itself, is also severing himself from Hashem. It is logical, therefore, that the baseless hatred that existed amongst the Jewish people caused them to forfeit their source of connection to Hashem and the Beis HaMikdash. This is to teach you that baseless hatred is equivalent to these other three transgressions. Why is the sin of baseless hatred considered the equivalent to three cardinal sins? The Derush Haran explains that with regard to the three cardinal sins in general, people aren't repeat offenders. If it happens, it's usually in a fit of rage or passion. However, baseless hatred is not an aberration or an exception. It is consistent. People may not even be aware of that they are transgressing. Thus, someone who is accustomed to this sin is far from repenting, because it has become a part and parcel of his usual behavior, and therefore, it is a sin that is extremely difficult to rectify. Furthermore, Rav Yechezkel Levinstein explains, Sinas Chinam derived from the flawed character traits, and it ultimately becomes a person's nature. It is extremely difficult for a person to eradicate the sin that is part of his very essence. Rav Yerachim Levovitz explains the comparison to the three cardinal sins differently. The reason we must give up our lives to avoid three cardinal sins of idolatry, illicit relations, and murder is because Hashem's presence cannot dwell where such sins are committed. Therefore, it is preferable to give up one's life than to commit these sins. Why can't Hashem tolerate these sins? Because each is a manifestation of hatred. And, as previously mentioned, hatred is the antithesis to Hashem's loving will and intent in this world. Murder is the expression of the ultimate hatred. Illicit relations, misdirected love, represent ultimate hatred. Avodah Zarah, worshipping another as a deity, is likewise the ultimate of hatred. What is it that Hashem can't tolerate? He cannot coexist with the ultimate hatred manifested by these sins. Baseless hatred is tantamount to all these three cardinal sins. Because it is hatred itself, hatred is the antithesis of Hashem. That's why he cannot coexist with them. Thank you.